You gotta say, obviously, Lucha, the favorite coming in as the 10 seed, highest seed Lucha's ever had, I believe. But Joey with that PB not that long ago, looking for more. Uh, I would say not going to see a sweep in this opener. I think it's going to be 3-1.
Oh, that would be absolutely fantastic. I mean, nobody likes to see sweeps here, and you very well may be right. We may see Joeymittens take at the very least one game off of Lucha Gym, but who knows? That's why they play the game, and that's why we do a best of 5. You just never know if anybody is going to pull off an incredible upset. We definitely see our fair share of those, but here we go. The Super Smash TV 8th annual tournament is underway, Bri.
Indeed it is, and as you can see, Lucha really camping that door, and it's basically going to be a wash. Slight lead for Lucha here. The firing lines were not great for either here. 41 versus a 42.
Burgundy, what would you say that lead for Lucha Gym is?
I would say negligible.
Absolutely, a negligible lead. It's all going to come down to these drops here. Who's going to get that first drop? Or well, Vitamin R is a good start for Lucha Gym. A foot, not so much of a good start for Joeymittens. There's a foot for Lucha. Joey, there's a delayed. Where is the weapon here? Was that back-to-back feet? Well, look at this. The rich getting richer here. An orb for Lucha Gym. He could have a really good time coming out of collect power-ups. Joeymittens getting nothing but grenades here.
Those grenades not fun, and they were in a terrible spot to boot. And now Joey going down to that hit from the great will work out with that foot, but it's going to be a 122 for Lucha. And Joey finally seeing that second firing platform.
He's got to keep that in tow here as we got a key on Lucha Gym's side, and Joeymittens is out of that room, but he is early on, 14 seconds back of Lucha Gym. So it is time for Eat My Shrapnel. 18 of the Mr. Shrapnels that we've got to take down. A maximum of 4 can be on the screen at any given point. If that happens, that's when you're going to start to bleed time.
And let's just say that this lead is several magnitudes beyond negligible at this point.
Oh, it most certainly is indeed, Bri. Your job is to try to keep control of the room. You want to make sure that there's not more than 4 shrapnels in the room, and you don't want the foot soldiers to overrun you as well.
Oh, no. Joey was having trouble keeping control. The shrapnels kept piling up, and one of them got him their cards, and down he goes. So this lead is going to grow.
Not to mention that Lucha Gym already has Vitamin R and a Razor Shield, 221, so it's about a 15-second lead now for Lucha Gym, and that lead is going to continue to grow as he gets clubbed down. How many times have we seen that happen where an early death happens because your movement just isn't up to par to avoid those foot soldiers?
Not the start Joey wants, but the nice thing is if you get all your bad stuff into one race, that only counts as one. So let's see if he can maybe clean it up here a little, picking up rockets now. Meanwhile, Lucha still riding that shield, maybe trying to save the rockets here to try to take some to tank trouble.
Yep. Let's see if this is the end of the room. It is, and that should be more than enough to take down the Gunners in tank trouble. It's about a 3-minute time for Lucha Gym. So far, a solid pace.
Solid situational awareness there, guys. He just, dragged it out a little bit longer, trying to make it last. Let's see now if with these rockets, so it's 2/3 of the ammo still intact, is going to be in great shape. Joey, meanwhile, still hunting for an orb replacement after dying in Eat My Shrapnel.
Yeah, just has not gotten that orb replacement. Just hasn't gotten the quality of weapons that Lucha Gym has gotten. He's going to find himself about 33 seconds back, but Lucha Gym losing the orb here early in tank trouble.
A little too action-y with the movement, but you know what? The rich getting richer. You get that orb back sometimes.
That happens, and yeah, you're absolutely right. The rich are getting richer here. Now, are we going to get this typical tank trouble trash on Joeymittens' side? Because we're certainly getting it right now for Lucha Gym after that orb replacement. Joeymittens needs some good weapons here. Let's see if he can get them. Razor Shield, tough spot to get to. Can he get there? No, he loses his orb again.
All right, so Joey gets an orb first drop near the top mine, picks it up, dancing dangerously in among the shrapnels, keeping alive, though.
Oh, he did a very good job keeping himself alive. Does give up the orb, but that was some nice dancing for the time being. Lucha Gym about a 4:18 going into Mute Toy Man, so 100-second fight. You got yourself our first sub-6 of the tournament.
First run, get the first sub-6 of the tournament. You'd love to see it here. Let's see. Opening is just a lobber in the far corner, at least easy to get to it. Next drop is another lobber. Let's see if Lucha can get the ball buster. Nails it!
Nice. Our first ball buster conversion of the tournament belongs to Lucha Jim. Very nicely done. Joeymittens trying to clean up this room here with what he can, but just hasn't gotten the weapon quality to stay within it. Now, if the weapons start to dry up on Lucha Jim's side, then who knows? Joeymittens might still have a chance. Here's some rockets for both runners. They'll definitely be helpful for Joeymittens, which should finish up the room, but he's going to have a 5:05. He is 47 seconds back. He needs some spreader and vulnerability chains here to get back into this one.
Oh, definitely hoping for that. Lucha, though, will just take lobbers the whole way and finish this out in style. Well-placed lobbers can deal up to 20 damage if placed correctly on the body. A regular shot does 4, but if you get those overlapping sprites, you can deal some extra damage.
Ooh, there's an empty drop. There's a spreader for Joeymittens, but he's going to have to try to do it manually. Getting a couple shots in there, but not really much. Playing a little bit of conservative here. Final form now for Lucha Jim. Is it going to be a sub 6, but it's definitely going to be a low 6 time here for Lucha Jim, provided that the weapons continue to come. There is a rocket for Joeymittens, the slow DPS. Oh, it's an empty drop for Lucha Jim, so gonna have to wait for the next drop to finish off Mutoy Man. These rockets ought to do it, you would think, and they do. Be about a 6-13 for Lucha Jim, a solid opener, and he's up 1-0.
That was a 157, I believe it's going to turn out to be for Lucha Jim on the boss fight. And Joey already got the ribcage pop, showing you that even though you came in well back, has made up some ground.
And he's going to get a spreader potentially unless he gets blocked. He does not get blocked.
Does not get blocked. And I would point out as well for Joey, that earlier spreader trying for the manual, that mine was in a really bad location, but did a decent job of just staying alive with it, dealing damage.
Got to the final form here, but he needs a weapon here. A spreader is the worst weapon to have in the final form. It's the best weapon to have any other time. And of course, he's getting a spreader in the perfect primo location because the game knows, Bry.
It was so primo, you'd swear it was Andre Bargnotti's slinging some pasta sauce for the Raptors.
Oh, and he gets run over trying to finish off a Mutoy Man here down to his last life. By the way, and then he blocks the invulnerability just so the game knows who's in charge. It's definitely not Joeymittens. And then gets a foot drop afterwards. Final form Mutoy Man at its finest, Bry. We've seen it all the time.
Oh, this game can be quite cruel. And look how close the damage was, too. Of course it was.
Yeah, just a few rockets, and that would have finished him off. So it'll be about a 7:31 for Joeymittens, but it is going to be Lucha Jim who takes our first game of the tournament, our 8th annual Smash TV tournament. Very nicely done. Lucha Jim 2 wins away from moving on.
And I will say for Joey, that was actually a fairly well-played boss fight. The empty drops at the end made it look worse than it was. Just did a good job of recognizing situations and using the weapons fairly effectively. Just needs to clean up that regular arena play. It was a little rough, shall we say.
You're right about that, Brysolf, because one of the things that we always like to say here in GG Speedruns when it comes to the Smash TV tournament, you don't lose or win games in arenas, but you can really put yourself behind the 8 ball with a poor arena.
Yeah, no, I mean, the luck on the boss means a lot. That's why a race is never truly over. But yeah, you play a bad arena, you just open yourself up to bad situations. So we'll have to wait and see. Burgundy, any thoughts on that opener?
Well, in looking at the race room here, we have a note from Lucha saying good RNG drops bad execution. So obviously, Lucha thrilled with the winning time, but still feels that improvement is there.
Oh, you can always tighten up execution. I will say that Lucha was a little loose with the movement in the middle of the room, especially in tank trouble, was getting a little too wide on the rotations and movements, and that is what opened you up to those guys sneaking in and getting your orb off you.
And of course, tank trouble, the most difficult room in Arena 1. The swarm rate is an equivalent to any Arena 3 room in normal or hard. So you got to be really on your game to not lose that orb in tank trouble. And not many can do it consistently. And if you can do it consistently, though, you put yourself in a good spot to win a lot of races. Here we go. Game number 2, gentlemen.
So we'll see how this one lines up for Joey. Just needs to get slightly better drops / not get so out of sorts when it comes to Eat my shrapnel. So it looks like both starting on the right door here, Cards.
Yep, they're going for the same strategy. You see some runners go for the top door. You see some runners just keep control of the middle. We'll see how it plays out here. In our last race, Lucha Jim had a very negligible hole shot. And in this race, it's going to be Joeymittens who's going to have a very negligible hole shot. It might even be tied.
Yeah, I would call that a tie. What do you think, Ferran?
So I had to deal with a phone call. We're looking pretty even here, and whatever question was asked of me, I'll admit that I missed it.
Well, in any event, Joeymittens gets the first orb here, but it's back-to-back rocket drops for Lucha Jim. If you can ride those rockets, you could still get a sub 120 coming out of this room easily.
You get good rockets at good locations coming in with a 40 like they both had. You could be talking about a sub 115 if those rockets keep coming.
Yeah, look at this. Lucha Jim, even without an orb, has a 77 going into Eat My Shrapnel. Joeymittens with the orb did a decent job here. Just didn't have the quality weapons that Lucha Jim has and finds himself about 6.5 seconds back.
But this will be a test for Lucha. Let's see if Lucha can hold this down. Well, it gets rockets. That'll help clean it up initially.
Yeah, Joeymittens able to clean up the early mess here in Eat My Shrapnel. Let's see if he can keep the orb. That rocket is definitely going to help him, but he's dancing a little bit too dangerously. He's letting those purple shirts get a little bit too close, Pry.
Yeah, you don't want to let those grunts get in too close. The big thing in this room is once you get control, all you need to do is just stay in the middle, pepper the doors, and just make sure you kill the shrapnels as soon as they bubble up. It's going to be a 201 here for Lucha. Joey should be done here in a moment.
That should be the last one. It's a 207, so it looked like he gained maybe a half a second. And Lucha loses the orb as he's picked off by the shrapnel.
That's a mistake for Lucha here. We'll get the razor shield.
Wow.
But big opportunity here for Joey. Let's see if Joey can bite into this lead or maybe even take it away.
Yeah, it's a massive advantage now that he's got the razor shield. He can keep control of the middle here. He's dancing around, keeping control of the middle with that razor shield. Lucha does get a replacement orb. He needed that to stay in the running. Otherwise, I think you would have been right. Lucha Jim would have lost the lead here. He still may lose the lead, but these rockets could help him because Joeymittens hasn't, again, gotten weapons to complement the orb. And
more rockets.
More vitamin R for Lucha Jim. He may keep this lead yet.
Well, rockets make up for a lot of ills, that is for sure. Joey's done a good job just riding out this razor shield.
Yeah, still going to have the lead with a 302, but Joeymittens definitely in the running here. He's going to be still 6 seconds back. It was an even Steven room there, and it's time for the first time this tournament, Taco Bell product placement with Taco Bell.
I was fully expecting Ferran Burgundy to drop us a little bit of what we got on the go here. But let's see. Lucha coming into tank trouble with a lot of spreader on deck. Gets rockets. What a drop.
Oh, that's a huge drop for somebody who's up 1-0. Should be able to get both of the gunners down and more rockets. This is ridiculous. The rich getting richer again here. Nice nuke there for Joeymittens. Will give him a breather. Take down one gunner at least. Trying to take down the second. He's in the corner. Does get the second gunner down.
Rockets up top. Tough to get to it. Let's see if he can get there.
Oh, very nicely done there for Joey. Nice movement. Nice firing lanes there to clear a path. More rockets for him too.
Now he's got control, so now he's just got to really lock it down. And so far, so good. He's invincible. No problem there from the tank bullets.
Yep, it is still going to be a Lucha Jim lead, a solid room with 415. Nice nuke there for Joeymittens. Not quite the end of the room, but he must be getting close. There's a spreader. Could finish off the room.
Yes, he's going to be done the room. Well played. Nice.
He's got a chance for a PB here. He's got a 426. He's only 11 seconds back.
Oh, Lucha stepped on the spreader. Didn't get a chance to take the death for it.
And he still got the ball buster. What the heck?
Well played. I guess maybe you want to try for it. Let's see if Joey's... Yeah, there's death is wonderful.
I love it. Beautiful.
He might be able to pop two arms here if he's able to keep the pressure on. He's still going, and he will get it on the lobber here. Just got to avoid the bullets.
Yeah, he's going to take the lead here just off the basis of that first spreader. And yeah, he's got the second arm prop, but he gets picked off by the gunners. That is kind of the risk when you do spreader early on.
A snipe!
Gunners.
A snipe. Lucha was trying to go for that grenade and got sniped. Now a rocket for Joey. Going to finish off the gunner here. Lobber for Lucha. Invulnerability for Joey. He's just going to hang back a little bit, gets a lobber.
All right, so right now, Joeymittens holding the lead here. It's still very close. Probably about a form, maybe 3/4 of a form lead here as the rib cage pops. Another invulnerability will help him not get hit here. He gets more lobbers, old school strats. Nothing wrong with that, Bri.
He's probably really hoping for that one more spreader here. This would be the perfect time to see it when that grenade disappears.
If he gets a spreader here, he's going to PB, I think. Empty drop. He's going to try for it. I love it.
Good aggressiveness. It's rockets. It's a weapon at least. Pounding home the damage right now. Gets grenades as the next drop. Can he get to it?
There's a spreader for Lucha, Jim. He can cut it.
It might be blocked. It might be blocked.
And it is blocked. 4.
Joey gets run over.
3, 2,
1. Same level 3. But no weapon for Joeymittens. Does get a lobber.
One form lead right now. He didn't get really any transfer damage there. Lobbers for Lucha. Should be seeing that next form. Trying to line up some shots here. Stop firing for a second. Trying to get the refill. Gets it done. Joey gets it done. Lost.
Oh, beautiful. And Joeymittens has equalized this match. We're tied 1 game apiece. You'll love to see it, gentlemen.
You sure do. And what a good job by Joey. That recognition of that spreader at the start. Immediately ran up there and said, oh, there's some bullets, and just jumped in the way.
Yep, turns in a very impressive 6:33 for the win. Lucha Jim will be just under the 7-minute mark here. And Joeymittens cleaned up his arena gameplay, did get some good weapons, but more than, most of all, he was very impressive in that arena in game number 2 and definitely deserved that win right here. What was a best of 5 is now a best of 3.
And, maybe just a little bit of a confidence builder, maybe shakes Lucha a little. We'll see how this pivotal game 3 is going to play out. I will point out that I believe Lucha's entry time to Mutoid Man's room was actually better on this run than his first one. And, of course, he gets a much worse time, because go figure.
Actually, it was not a better time. I believe it was still, 4...
It was a 4:16.
It was a better time by 2 or 3 seconds. You're right.
Like maybe a second, but it's just funny how that plays out sometimes, gentlemen. So, game number 3, you got to think Lucha's going to clean it up here, but maybe nerves on the opening night. Opens the door a little, and Joey with a very nice showing there. 6:35, not far off the PB. Probably has to be in that range again, if not better, to feel real confident about it. I don't know. Burgundy, what is the key going to be here, do you think, in this run?
Well, like Archie Bell and the Drells, just got to tighten up here. Just got to tighten up the firing lanes and get things going. I'm going to go ahead and see these guys off. They just readied up here, and we'll get ready with race number 3 of 5.
And remember, we have 2 more matches coming up after this, so don't go anywhere, guys. Triple header action on the opening night.
I will say this much, Bryce, with the way that Joeymittens played that arena in game number 2, he was just a spreader away from getting a nice PB there. It didn't happen for him, but I tell you what, he's definitely got the capability of sub-6 material. I will say that much.
You can make your entry under 4 minutes and 30 seconds to the Mutoid Man room. All you need is 90 seconds, and that is very doable, especially if the weapons are located well. But for now, let's worry about game number 3. Tied up at 1, Joeymittens on the left, Lucha Jim on the right. Here we go, cards. I'm excited.
Oh, me too. This is a very crucial game number 2 for both of these runners here, because whoever wins this will have 2 opportunities to win the match and advance to the next round of the winner's bracket.
Lucha, again, really staying on that right door, but not getting any spawns, and this is the danger you run into of camping that door sometimes. Now getting off there, and it looks like Joey is going to have the hole shot.
He will have the hole shot indeed by roughly half a second. It's a 39 versus a 40 for Lucha Jim. Joeymittens had that opening orb here in game number 2 that gave him that nice advantage. Let's see if he gets it again here in game number 3. An invulnerability to start, a foot for Lucha Jim. Nothing to write home about.
Nothing amazing. Now, vulnerability in the far corner. Grenades for Lucha. These are definitely going to test our runners here. Stuff you just don't want to see.
A nuke there for Joey. More grenades for Lucha Jim. This is not typical Tank Trouble trash game. You're way too early for these drops.
Still, more nukes, feet, grenades. There's finally something good. It's an orb on Lucha's side at the minute 22 mark.
But not to be outdone, Joeymittens gets his own orb, and we are even going into Eat My Shrapnel at 129 each. Neither player can be happy about that time, but they are even Steven.
So far, this is the best room that I've seen out of Joey, but had a little bit of trouble with the swirl and has got to get these guys under control. Really playing loose here with the rules. How to play this room.
He may lose some time here because he's got 4 shrapnels on the screen. It's going to be tight. They've not gotten the weapons, neither player, to really keep it under control. Joeymittens will pick up that Razor Shield, but Rockets for Lucha Jim will be a nice closer for him. He should have the lead coming out.
Good job just sitting on them, saving them as long as you can, trying to make them last. To use them, going to the next room, it's going to be a 2:11 versus a 2:13. So Joey gave up 2 seconds there, getting a little loosey-goosey with that movement again.
Yeah, combination of being loosey-goosey and the fact that Lucha had a rocket to close the room. You factor both of those in, there's your 2 seconds. And a great opener for Lucha Jim here in Total Carnage with that Razor Shield. Joeymittens gets a Razor Shield, not in the greatest of spot. Is he patient enough? Yeah, very good.
He got pushed off the wall when he picked it up. He thankfully cut up, and the orb just missed a grunt. That was close.
You know what they say, Bri? Missed it by that much.
You know, pretty sure Don Adams would approve of that.
Definitely Rockets, but Joeymittens unfortunately got sabotaged with grenades right in the middle of the room, and he didn't recognize it in time and lost that clip.
The ammo runs out here as Lucha using grenades to finish off the last 2 shrapnels. Going to be out at 3:06. Joey getting a little ragged. Last piece of the shield gone. Has definitely given some time away due to that sabotage. It's going to be about a 10-second lead, it appears.
Yep, it will be a 10-second lead for Lucha Jim into the bonus room, but definitely manageable because neither player has a weapon to take with them in the tank trouble. This first drop is going to be crucial for both runners.
First orb to drop is going to lose this race. So let's see who can hold on to it the longest. Rockets!
Not the greatest spot, but that's the best start, and both gunners are off the wall for Lucha Jim. A spreader, nice follow-up with the Rockets there. Joeymittens gets an invulnerability, which will protect him from the bullets, but that's about it.
I gotta say, those Rockets, considering how far away they were, lined up really well. They were on a straight up and a diagonal for the gunners, so not the worst located Rockets you've ever seen. And now Joey gets a Razor. Can he get to it? There's a tank there trying to make his way, and there's another tank. What a grab!
Unbelievable movement there for Joeymittens, but then the Razor Shield goes through. The shrapnel went through the Razor Shield. How unlucky can you get?
It is always just a gut punch of a feel. And Joey going down again here. Looks like a 420 entry for Lucha Jim. So a sub-6 again on the table. Orb replacement. And it's gone.
Yeah, I think he felt a little bit tilted after getting that shrapnel right through the Razor Shield there. I mean, I can't fault him for that, but he's got to tighten this up here because he's still very much in this running here with a lobber to start for Lucha.
Lucha is absolutely just drilling that ball buster. And the ball buster is when you slam the orb into a spot where 2 sprites meet on the body of Mutoid Man. If you don't see it fly out of the body, that means it has correctly hit Mutoid, and it gives glitch damage. It deals 42%.
Some nice manuals there before he got run over, and the second arm is popped off for Lucha Jim. Very nicely done there. He gets some lobbers to follow it up. Joeymittens needs to see some spreaders here, or he's going to be down 2-1, and a key is not going to help him.
To finish up the ball buster, it's 42% of a single form that you pick up on that damage. And as you're saying, this is not a massive lead for Lucha. There's a spreader chance for Joey, but 2 forms back. Will it be blocked? No,
he's got it. If he gets an invulnerability here, he can really wreak havoc here. What is it? It's grenades. He's just going to have to keep it coming here.
He got the full set out. Does he get a spreader on this death? It's an invulnerability. That's unfortunate. Lucha has to go manual. That might be an invulnerability under the body. No, it's a grenade.
All right. Well, it's about a 3/4 form lead for Lucha, but that is shrinking.
And a spreader!
Great spot for a 2. And staying away, and then comes toward him. Whoa! Joeymittens with the lead.
Lead change. And he gets an invulnerability. He gets an invulnerability.
He can get transfer.
He missed a lot of shots, though. He was too low on the body. But he does have the lead. Dancing in the lasers. This is dangerous. Spreader for Lucha. Is Lucha going to grab it late?
Oh, is this going to be a steal here? Oh, it's going to be so close. How much transfer damage did Lucha Jim? No,
He gets
it's gonna
it.
be
Joey gets it.
Woo!
Unreal. What
a
closer.
game. What
Wow.
a game 3. We are seeing the fireworks fly here.
That is your 23 seed that is now up 2-1 in this matchup. And we'll have 2 potential cracks at the can for our first upset of the tournament. Let's see if Lucha can reply.
Man, he erased quite the deficit there, ladies and gentlemen. He got some great spreaders, got an invulnerability, and wow, I cannot believe it. We are 1 win away from seeing our first upset of the tournament already. How cool is that, guys?
You love to see a close matchup to start the tournament, unless you're Lucha Jim in this case. But you know what? As viewers, as people who love watching this game get the races like this is the stuff we live for. This is why we're still running this tournament, and we have an 8th annual coming here. And man, oh man, Joey's got to be feeling pretty hyped. Looks pretty happy on the webcam feed.
Oh, absolutely, and he should be happy.
So be sure to let everyone know that it's on and it's happening right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Joeymittens up 2-1, looking to punch that ticket to the next round to await the winner of, I believe it'd be what, the 7 and the 26 seed playing one another.
Oh, that would be absolutely tremendous.
Yeah, that'll be the winner of Coolio and Mr. Dino.
Our very own Mr. Dino, who runs GG Speedruns here, doing a lot of the work here behind the scenes for us. As always, just a titan of work here between Mr. Dino, Kreloke, and of course our commentary team that throws everything to you. A lot of work goes into this presentation, and everyone does a phenomenal job year over year.
All right, waiting on our runners to ready up here. So a difference of opinion here. Joey thinking that a lot of this is luck. Both victories noting lucky drops. In this case, the lucky spreader invulnerability combo. Lucha, meanwhile, noting Mutoid Man execution has been F tier today. So 2 totally different mindsets here as we enter game 4.
Now, Lucha Jim has been the better player in the arena, but Joeymittens has been the better and luckier player in the Mutoid Man fight. We'll see if that keeps up in game number 4, or if Lucha Jim can force a decider.
I will say for Lucha that the drops have been a little bad the last couple Mutoid Man rooms. Execution hasn't been that bad, I would say, in there. However, the regular arenas both have had some real troubles. Joey's actually struggling with what I consider the easiest room. Provided you have an orb, Eat My Shrapnel should be a 42.5-second room every time. People get way too adventurous, too panicky. Just hold the middle, keep stuff under control. Provided you're not at 4 shrapnels, you're doing fine. Here we go, guys. Game number 4.
All right, game number 4, Joeymittens with 2 opportunities to advance to the next round of the tournament. The pressure is on Lucha Jim, who kind of struggled a bit in this room, just didn't get the foot soldiers to come his way, but this is definitely a different story. Lucha Jim with the clear hole shot. Great room.
Got 2 great spawns, and they were large. This is the advantage of camping a door. If you get those big spawns, you can save some serious time. That's a solid 3.5 seconds on the lead.
Yeah, very close to 3.5-second lead there for Lucha Jim, with Joeymittens posting a high 41. Starts with a Razor Shield.
Solid. You can use it as a weapon and just be aggressive. First drop orb for Joey. That's our first drop orb of the tournament, I believe, or did we have one earlier?
You might be right about that, because I think Joeymittens might have had a second drop orb in game number 2. But yes, indeed, Joeymittens with the advantage with the orb, keeping control of the middle with the invulnerability. Lucha Jim getting a spreader. There's a nuke for Joeymittens, which he will try to
finish
save
the room
until
here,
the last second. Is this
well,
enough? Not quite.
Not quite.
Foot soldiers. So Lucha Jim will keep the lead, but that lead is shrinking. Now, this is the room you mentioned that Joeymittens has struggled in a little bit here.
He's being a little close to 2 doors, but he gets away with it. He also gets an early shrapnel explosion. This should help him keep control of the room.
And that certainly should.
And that nuke, even with that last spawn still happening, was fine. It got rid of 2 shrapnels. Still a time gain for Joeymittens when it was used.
All right, so Joeymittens has the room under control. All the foot soldiers are gone, but Lucha Jim
Ooh,
does get some rockets.
Just in time, those rockets. It was starting to get a little sideways for Lucha, but gets it done here. It's going to be a 204 versus a 207.
So it's a 3-second lead for Lucha Jim, but if he doesn't get an orb soon, the lead is going to swing.
Gets a razor again, can use this as a weapon temporarily. You can be very aggressive. Oh, he had a shrapnel piece come through, but he managed to step to the side, and that shield took out that shrapnel piece. That was scary.
Yeah, that was an excellent dodge there from Lucha. It's getting a little bit scary on Joey's side. He's just not getting the weapons to complement that orb. No razor shield, and there it
drops
is.
it. That's too bad for him. He's a little loose in the movement again. He's really getting wide on that diamond. You just want to stay inside that diamond and keep your firing lanes tight.
And the game is making him pay the ultimate price with all these empty drops. It's back-to-back keys for Joeymittens. Lucha's going to keep the lead. It's going to grow, actually.
It's hard to say here. Things have not been great on Lucha's side, so, you know, and there's an orb replacement for Joey. Still no orb for Lucha, I believe.
Wow, he could have an orbless run here, and yeah, he is still going to have the lead, despite the fact that he has no orb. It's a 3-14, but Joeymittens, with the return of the orb, has gained a half a second. It's a 2.5-second lead for Lucha Jim, but more importantly, Joey still has the orb. Lucha does have about 2/3 clip of spreader to take with him to tank trouble.
Have to say, Burgundy, that's a real what-if for Joey. If he'd been able to keep that orb the whole way through, how big would the lead be?
Certainly an interesting question, but it's still rather close here, but all you can do is focus ahead on tank trouble and see what
Razor shield on the
Oh,
feet!
boy.
What a drop!
That's a great start there for Joeymittens, trying to get the second gunner down here. Nice dodges there. That shrapnel's been picking on him here in tank
Lucha took
trouble.
a death. Lucha took a death. Finally gets rid of a gunner. Now Joey can settle down here. This lead is definitely going to flip as Lucha goes down again.
Oh my goodness gracious. Do you think Lucha Jim is on tilt right now?
I don't know about tilt, but probably getting concerned and not seen an orb yet, I believe. Gets rockets now. At least that'll help stop the bleeding for a bit here. Joey swinging dangerously, but still got that orb.
Yeah,
He's dead.
is.
He's
Wow.
dancing. Oh,
Good dancing to keep that orb intact. Now he gets Vitamin R to finish off the room.
Rockets to finish it up.
Beautiful.
And Joey leads for the first time into Mutoid. 434. Lucha in at a 438.
He finally did see an orb, so they both have the opportunity to get the ball buster here. But if Joeymittens continues to keep it up in the Mutoid Man fight, that spreader's that's a bad idea.
It's not going to be blocked. I just think he's going to get there. He waited too long
late.
to die.
Yep.
Oh, a disaster. Lucha, meanwhile, 4
for 4.
Wow, that is consistency. You got to love that free damage. A foot now for Joey, and he can't even get it. Oh, Lucha picks up a spreader, had an invulnerability, had to pick it up, and gets run over.
Yeah, he did get some damage. Oh, and he could have gotten another invulnerability. The tease there from the game here. So an opportunity lost for Lucha Jim, but he does have the lead. Joeymittens with rockets, Lucha Jim with rockets. First arm has popped up. It's a full form lead right now for Lucha Jim as lobbers come Mittens' way.
Should add that the rockets are the best weapon in the regular rooms. It is considered the worst weapon against the boss for your damage output. It just does not deal that much damage.
Ooh, it's a spreader for Lucha Jim, but it was blocked and he didn't see it on time, so no opportunity there for the extra damage. We're pretty much neck and neck here. A slim lead for Lucha now.
And a weapon advantage for Joey because he has one now. Lobbers for both. And it's pretty much a dead heat, as you're saying here, gentlemen. We'll have to see who pops the head first here and who's got the lead.
Oh, this is so close. It is Joeymittens with the ever so slightly, but now Lucha with the advantage as he's got lobbers, and now he's got rockets versus Joeymittens grenades. It could come down to a spreader here if anybody sees one.
Wow, Joey with fantastic movement in tight there. You'll love to see the double shrapnel steps through it. And it's a tie. It's a tie, basically.
Oh,
he's sniped
off. No, and he gets an empty drop. This may be the opening for Lucha Jim to force a deciding game number 5. Lobbers for Joeymittens, but it might be too late as lobbers come Lucha Jim's way here. And there it is.
That snipe is the difference. I think Joey with weapon quality was going to take that based on what we were seeing. That snipe saves Lucha 6:54, and it's going to be right around 7 minutes flat here.
It is indeed 7 minutes flat for a difference of 6 seconds. That pickoff by Mutoid Man cost Joeymittens the match for the time being and gives new life to Lucha Jim. And for the first time, and we didn't have to wait very long this tournament, gentlemen, we have a decider.
They're already putting a stamp of approval down on the, is this the best match of the opening round? It's trying to make a case here.
Yeah, this might be one of the best first matches we've had in tournament history. You're absolutely right.
I'd say this is sneaky good.
You know, on Friday, we were talking about the bracket reveals, and we circled this one as a potential sneaky good match. And so far, this match has delivered and then some. We've had 2 races be 6 seconds or less now.
Indeed, we have, and we're going to have to wait and see how this goes. We will have 2 more matches coming your way here tonight. We will have Telio and Seawalker coming up next, I believe. And that will be followed by, for some reason, my notes are not showing the third one. Why did I not write this down? Tetsuo, and of course, a personal friend of mine. Let's just call him Dildar or Bruce, if you prefer.
Yeah, the man of many names.
Well, folks, who do you think is going to take this decisive game number 5? Do you think that momentum swing with Mutoid Man picking off Joeymittens is going to be a momentum changer for Lucha Jim? Or do you think Joeymittens can bounce back and take this home?
I got to tell you, I can't imagine Lucha is going to go without an orb that long again. And really, I think it's going to come down to that first spreader on Mutoid Man. If you have a big lead coming in, that just evens it up. But if you come in with even a bit of a lead and you get that first spreader, you're feeling phenomenal. And I got to say, Lucha's entry times have been pretty good. Even with the struggles, has generally been ahead or competitive with Joey. The regular arena play is giving Lucha a chance to carry this.
Absolutely, indeed. And until game number 4, Joeymittens was pouring it on the Mutoid Man fights. But finally, Mutoid Man let him down, and he was not able to finish the job, letting Lucha Jim back into this one. And we have 1 game now for all the marbles.
1 game for all the marbles, and here we go. It's underway. A deciding race here. A best of 5 going to game 5. Our first match of the tournament, gentlemen. We are so blessed.
All right, here we go. Game number 5. Both of them hanging at the right door. Joeymittens now heading back toward the middle here, so we'll see how this plays out. And once again, this is going to be very, very close. Is that the right nuke for Joey?
No, it's too early. It's too early.
Man.
His time's still going to be okay, but no, he definitely nuked too early. The score you need to see is if you've not picked up any prizes, it should be 52,000 or more showing, and he only had 50,000.
Oh, just a little too early. Otherwise, he would have had the lead. Instead, he finds himself about a half a second back. But this first drop here and collect power-ups. Spreader for Joey. Lucha with the Razor Shield. Both good drops.
Both very solid. And now the Vitamin R flows even further. Lucha Jim picking up rockets. Joey, meanwhile, ignores a grenade.
And gets another. To get rid of the Razor Shield.
He's trying. And he gets it. And he gets it. What a play, gentlemen. He just tried to play it out, and he did. Back-to-back spreaders for Joey. Oh, but he drops it! What a mistake!
And then Joeymittens gets picked off by the shrapnel.
That death does not mean as much as potentially dropping that orb. As you can see, it didn't really hurt Joey a whole lot.
4-second lead for Lucha Jim. Neither player has an orb to start Eat My Shrapnel. And Lucha in some trouble here. Somehow did not take a death.
Did a good job, and now we have an orb for Joey. Should be able to get control here. Just needs to take care of business. That spreader will definitely help. Just get rid of the swarmers. Another one. Meanwhile, Lucha picking up an orb, so at least the replacement is there.
Joey ignoring that spreader way far away. Do you agree with this play?
If you've got control, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not going to last through the room. If you feel good about it, yeah, absolutely. I'll ignore anything but a rocket pretty much if I feel good about it.
All right, and that's the end of the room for Lucha with a 2:08. Joeymittens cut about a couple of seconds. It's a 2:10, and they both have the orb. Ooh, Joey a little sketchy there to start the room. I thought he was going to run into it.
He's still struggling here. He's still struggling.
My gosh.
But he's holding it down.
And here comes the shrapnel. He's able to dodge it. This is really he is teetering. He is teetering on the edge. He is teetering on the edge, and Lucha Jim hasn't. There's the razor shield for Lucha Jim. Can he get to it? The shrapnel's blocking him. He got it.
Great patience. That was wonderful. He knew he had time. Saw the tuber exploding. He took his time. Don't panic run at it. You're going to take a death doing that.
Now, Joey finally got control, but has not got any other weapons to further him, and Lucha should still have the lead coming out of this room.
It's going to increase. It's been a struggle here for Joey the whole way. And a nice little nuke to finish here, I believe.
Nice. Very good ending to the room there. Spreaders for Joey could close out the room here. Was able to keep it under control. He's about 9.5 seconds back of Lucha Jim going into the bonus room, but he has a little bit of spreader to take with him to tank trouble, but this opening drop going to be critical, very crucial for both. Let's see what happens.
I got to say, Joey maintaining contact here. It was a struggle, but got it done. Spreader to start for Lucha. Deciding to ignore it. It is a little dicey to go for it. Now try to go for it late and gets it.
Very nicely
Let's
done.
see here.
A
Joey
foot
with a
for
foot.
Joey,
Yeah.
not great. So, and he loses the orb. That purple shirt just reached right for
And
him,
then
takes the death.
Yeah, then he shrapnel rockets for Lucha. Things might be breaking here for our favorite in the race.
Indeed, they might be. Because that gunner is still on the wall for Joeymittens. He gets
Orb on the feet.
placement.
Oh, that's too bad. It just was not meant to be where it was. Could not plan for it.
Yeah, no shot of planning for it on Joey's side. And right now, Lucha Jim could have a 20-plus second lead, maybe more, coming out of this room. And
It's
very nicely done.
definitely gonna
Lucha,
go up.
another solid arena. He's had solid arena gameplay all night, gentlemen. He's got a 424.
424. Joey now hoping for one more drop to help. That's not really going to do it. Misses the grenade on the swing. I think decided maybe just to ignore it here. Trying to force it, as you can see, is still just ticking away here. Lucha now looking for 5 for 5 on the busters. Misses one finally.
Does not get it, and he loses out on the perfect bid.
But here's the thing. Still no arm pop for Lucha. So despite this massive lead, finally a form change.
31-second deficit for Joeymittens to make up. He can do it because Lucha Jim has only popped the first arm. He's getting lobbers.
Oh, a bit of a mistake. He didn't pick up that lobber refill when he had the access.
Right,
Rockets to start for Joey.
That's a good opener. Focus on the gunners. Now look for spreaders. Ooh, and a vulnerability, though.
Gonna have to pick that up. We'll not be able to let that one die in front of you because of how fast the rockets will deplete.
Another invulnerability.
Oh, this is starting to really look grim here for Joey. He's going to need the weapons to change around quickly.
And right now, there is just no sign of it. It has been empty drop versus crappy weapon to another empty drop to another crappy weapon. And Lucha's already popped the head. He is in the catbird seat to move on to the next round.
I will say Joey has done a good job of using the bank shot in this matchup.
Empty drop though for Lucha. That's going to give Joey a little glimmer of hope, but it's about to disappear as we get a spreader. Final form for Lucha. He won't be able to get transfer damage. But this lobber, these drops have just been absolutely trash. This is the drops that Lucha needed for Joeymittens to get back into this one, but it's looking like all over. The writing is on the wall, boys.
That doesn't die there, but we'll be able to use the spreader to finish it out here, I think.
And there it is. Lucha Jim bends but not breaks, and the key in this match was his solid arena gameplay that won him this match. Yes, he got lucky with the pickoff of Mutoy Man on Joeymittens' side in game number 4, but credit where credit is due. Lucha's arena gameplay far more superior, and that's what enabled him to win this match tonight.
But nothing to hang your head in shame at all. Last year, Joey got his first victory in the Smash TV tournament. This year, almost got his second and dang near pulled off a very impressive upset of someone with a much higher PB. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we'll see on the second chance bracket for Joey. And gets the kill as taken down, getting to continue, and unfortunately will drop to the second chance, but still alive.
Yeah, I mean, Joeymittens, had some really good Mutoid Man fights, put up a great effort, but what could have been in game number 4 when that laser just picked off Joeymittens and cost him, inevitably, the match there.